Sup guys, welcome to Apu in Wonderland. It's January 21st, 2018, somewhere around 8:45 p.m. And I'm here sitting and listening to music that helped me visualize a world, a better world, an epic world. Something far away from everything mundane, all this routine and struggle and pain. I dream and wish to be free. Free from all this madness. And that is the genesis of Apu in Wonderland itself, to share my thoughts and dreams with you guys, with whoever is willing to listen to me, listen to my aspirations, who is willing to dream along with me, dream together of a better place, of a better life, of a better being, a wholesome life, guys. Anyway, what's up? How you guys been? So how you guys been? Sorry for my epic intro or childish intro, or however you guys, passionate intro, that's how I like to, that's what that was what it was. I hate scripted dialogues. I hate scripted recordings, anything scripted and I'm reading out to you, it doesn't feel the same. It doesn't let the energy flow. So the past week was horrible because I would have made some 3-4 recordings, but I haven't put any of it out because, like I said, it's not scripted. So maybe the first 10 minutes would go the way I imagine it to be, and then in the 15th minute, I lose out on something and it doesn't pass my quality test. Anyway, I'm sure over time things will improve and I will feel more confident, and my thoughts would be articulated better, more precisely, and in the sort of quality that I wish to present it, So anyway, but whatever happens, I'm gonna put this shit out. I don't give a fuck about what people think. And on that note, welcome once again. And today I would like to talk about something very simple, as simple as breathing. And the everyday breathing, something that starts when we are born and only stops when we die. And something which maybe the only other bodily function that is that can be controlled by your will, or it is almost autonomous. It can happen both ways. Like you if you want, you can take over control of your breathing pattern, or breathing pattern. If you want, you can take control of your breathing pattern, or you can just let it be and let it be autonomous, and you wouldn't even know while you're busy, doing other stuff. So, why do I even want to talk about breathing? Might sound silly to many, but but like, okay, I will talk about my experience at least. Yeah, when I become angry, when I'm sad, when I'm very emotional, you know. And if I'm lucky, at that point of time, I get to observe the pattern of breathing. I realize that it is short, it is not rhythmic, um, and it's not wholesome, if I may. And when I'm in a very relaxed state, in, if I may say, elevated states of consciousness, when I'm like meditating and I'm in this big deep pool of bliss, when I have accumulated immense focus, the thing I notice is that my breathing is very deep, it is wholesome, and it is very rhythmic. Yeah, it follows a specific rhythm, and it's got a certain frequency to it, if I may. This is my personal experience. Yeah, when I'm angry, I find it short. When I'm relaxed and all that, it is like wholesome, huge deep breaths and wholesome. And this is exactly what I want to share with you guys also. Like, they say that breathing is like a bridge between your mind and your physical self, or your soul and your physical self. It's somewhere in between. And like I was saying earlier, breathing might be the only activity of your body that you can control voluntarily, and it can be completely autonomous also, without you even knowing that it is happening. And something that you can observe is that if you are like willing to try and build your own breathing pattern, you tend to, what to say, get the associated emotional response, if I may. Like, if you start breathing short and all that stuff, you might be feeling agitated, you might feel easily angered and all that. Whereas if you are taking wholesome, deep, long, rhythmic breaths, for extended periods of time, you feel all this stress and worries and a lot of these pent up energies just loosening up and just leaking away through yourself. There is a whole science to it. Like, at least in the for ages, for the past, I don't know, 3,000, 4,000 years, in India we have a large extensive science around breathing, and it is called pranayama and this and that and all that stuff. And of late, recently, there is a whole Western discovery also to it, and they call it holographic or holo something breathing and all that stuff. You will find a lot of TED Talks, you will find a lot of these doctors and all that people sharing their idea about breathing, and in a small gist, it is exactly like what I told you. If you are conscious of your breath, and you remain conscious of your breath, and you try and take deep breaths from the bottom of your belly and exhale the whole of it outside, and inhale to replace what you exhaled. And you do this for a long, I mean, like an extended period of time. If you train yourself, you could see uh, energy. I mean, like you could eliminate a lot of stress. You could feel a sense of clarity coming into you. You feeling relaxed, etc., etc., etc. And I totally have personal experience of this. Whenever I switch my states of consciousness, this is one of the biggest what to say this is one of the most prominent symptoms that I see in an elevated state of consciousness. Deep breaths and wholesome breaths with a specific rhythm. And I mean, it can be like, and when you, like, out of practice, you get to know, like, okay, you need to warm up your body. You just need to breathe. I mean, as funny as that sound and dumb as it sound, maybe not to many, but I'm sure to people who are hearing all this for the first time, they are gonna be like a little taken aback. But this is true. Like, you guys could Google and look out for this guy called what is his name? I don't know his name, but he's got his nickname called Iceman. So this guy goes around sitting in freezing water and in ice, and in refrigeration units and all that stuff meant for meat and all that. So he goes around sitting in these things, proving the fact that he can generate his own body heat. And of course there is a whole spiritual aspect to this, into which I'm not going to get into now, at least. I feel there are many of my listeners are not yet ready for those kind of information. Because they might think I'm nuts. Anyway, so this guy goes around, showing this aspect of our natural aspect of our body, using breath. And you should check out his videos on YouTube. Just Google Iceman and you will find a lot of stuff about him. And he goes around, of course, sharing his knowledge with the world. And it's just not about generating more body heat or doing some superhuman sort of stuff, but it's a whole lot more than all that. Like I was saying earlier, there is a whole aspect of spirituality in it. Now, what's the problem of the word spirituality? I have a real big problem with this word spirituality, because it gives a wrong idea to the people. It gives this idea of religion or all that stuff. For me, spirituality is just evolution. The human beings, okay, like if you look at the theory of evolution, from ape or from some bloody worm, we became a human being. And it doesn't stop there. Like, we have to evolve more. Like, it just doesn't stop here. There is so much more left for us to change and morph into. Obviously there is a lot of push towards transhumanism today, like the merger of biology and technology. And I mean, that is like, I mean, I don't know if it's really the sort of evolution I want to get into, but in my sense, evolution is nothing but elevating our consciousness. And one of the keys to this big question of how is definitely breathing. And I mean, like, it's just not a spiritual aspect, but it's a normal, I mean, it's got a normal, very worldly, materialistically well-being aspect also to it. So I would definitely tell you guys to go check out on check out on breathing. I mean, you guys would have noticed yourself, like I have had people telling me, I'm very angry, I'm very sad, I'm not able to breathe. and this is exactly the, and this is exactly what I was talking about, like your emotions is very much linked to your breathing, and vice versa. And if your emotions can affect your breathing can definitely, conscious breathing can definitely affect your well-being. So again, I'm not able to bring things out of my mind from a state of flow. I wish again there was someone to talk about this with. Unfortunately, at this moment there is no one, and this seems to be a monologue. Well, so that's all, guys. Another day.